What's up, Multiverse Sub here, and for today, I'm an elf. Look at my ears. Because today we're gonna play a fantasy RPG that I randomly found at the App Store. It's called Medieval Fantasy RPG. Yep, that's exactly the name of the game. And I got my sword right there, just in case some goblin randomly jumps out for a surprise attack. I'm ready. And there's Gandalf for magical support. Yay. Anyway, let's just begin with the game. Alright, here we are at the start of the game, and it kinda has that D&D vibes, and I really wanted to play D&D. So this is the best that I got for now. So let's just begin with the story. The picture kind of looks like wait, I am in a forest. Looks like a dark, creepy forest, and it's a pathway to somewhere. And there's my life and my mana, and look, I don't have a gold or moral yet. Zero, zero. Okay. So, let's go. Okay. You are a young wizard, seeking treasure and glory. You are walking along a path in the forest, one day's journey from Ring City, your beloved home. Night has just fallen and you're thinking about how it might be a good idea to find a campsite. After all, you're in a goblin territory, and it's dangerous to travel in the dark. Suddenly, you smell something awful. Reginald, are you responsible for that outrageous smell? You ask the warrior striding ahead of you. Brain, no! I am always downwind from the companions when I squeeze the bellows, Reginald answered. You realize that you have never encountered this stench before, and it is close, and perhaps it's your imagination. But it is that muffled breathing you just heard? What do you do? So, what should we do? Should we shout a warning to Reginald, our dearly companion? Should we dive flat on our face? Why? Kind of feel that's going to hurt. uh, Hide, or maybe we should stop and listen. Oh, and we're in a goblin territory, so it most likely be some goblins. So that's why I bring my swords. I mean, my sword. Maybe we should just stop and listen. Achievement unlocked. A clever move. You're a tricky one. Last points, but yay, okay. We got some rewards. Okay. Mana decrease, that's alright. Moral increases too. No need to panic yet. You think you grab Reginald by the shoulder and gesture for him to be quiet. The two of you stand motionless for a long second before you hear a low, whizzing sort of breathing. Reginald must have heard it too, because he raises his sword defensively. A series of snorts is followed by several goblins with green-tinted skin charging out of hiding toward you. So we're going to face some goblins. Uh, with an arcane word and a flourish of one hand, you send a bolt of fire into the leader of the charge, who drops to the ground, crashing in flames. Nice one. Reginald hacks down another with his sword. The remaining three run away, whooping and yipping. Yeah, run, you cowards. Soon, their cries are joined by others from the dark forest all around you. Many calls from far too many goblins to fight toe to toe. It is a hunting party tracking wild game, I wager. Human is a human is a delicacy, much better than modern. How do you read that? Anyway, Reginald says, "You regard the two dead goblins on the ground. Dead goblins are worth 10 gold pieces per head in the city. Luckily, you don't need to carry their heads around. The city authorities will accept their left ears. So we're gonna bring their left ears? What do you do? Wait, I think we can cut off their ears. But are we going to get attacked right away? Let's just cut off the ears. I think it's going to be quick. Gold increases by 10. That's nice. Get the ears! Get the ears! You exclaim as you pull out your razor sharp daggers from your belt. For a second, your sometimes slow-witted warrior sidekick doesn't understand, but as you start sawing away at the first ear, he gets the idea and fishes out his own dagger. Soon you have a bloody goblin ear stuffed into your pocket, and Reginald has one of his own. Nasty, very nasty, very. However, 10 gold pieces are nearly 6 months of wages to a common laborer, so you're willing to take the hit. What now? Reginald asked. Certainly, there are excellent places to hide in the forest, if we can just make it until morning. True, the goblins may have... Oops. True, the goblins may have dogs and their own sense of smell is keen, you say. We might climb a tree then. That would at least be defensible, Reginald suggests. You wish to be treated like a fox, with goblins barking underneath? If you wish a position that is both defensible and allows some freedom of movement, we should hasten to the castle in Inverness. It is near, and we could fortify ourselves behind those walls, Reginald says. You frown. It is a fortress, yes, but inhabited. By what? Gods know what manners of creature may have taken up residence in that ruin over the years. So should we hide in the forest, garrison in the ruined walls? I'm going adventure, so let's just go to the ruined walls. Castle Inverness is near. Let us take refuge behind those stone walls, you say. Goblin hunting calls echo from all around in the forest as the two of you dash up the path 100 meters or so. Where you find a fork in the road, the path to the right appears to be seldom used since it is nearly overgrown. The path to the left is clear and you think you see firelight down the way. Could this fire belong to the goblins? Or if you're lucky, is it the campfire of another friendly adventuring party? What do you do? Let's investigate the fire. Maybe we might meet some friendly folks down there. So go to the fire. Achievement and luck. Why did my life decreases by 1? I'm an adventurer that you step for it never was. At least I got some. Oh my god, it belongs to the freaking goblins. So it turns out the fire does belong to goblins. What did you expect? You're in goblin country. Oh my god, duh. That's so fucking stupid of me. Anyway, you've come up to the clearing with 2 goblins staring hungrily at the rack of meat than sizzling over a fire. Apparently, these guys are more keen on guarding their next meal than joining the rest of the hunting party. Before you can decide whether to turn back or kill them, one of them spots you and screams out. Reginald shoots this one with a bow while the other runs up. What a cowardly lot they are! You run back to the fork in the road and head toward the castle. On the way, you hear a whistle in your ear, then another, then feel the sting just above your hip. They do have bows. The wound isn't bad. It's a small arrow shot by a weakling, no doubt. You pull it out without losing stride. Fine. After a minute of stumbling down what is best described as a game trail, you see the shadowy husk of the ruin in the moonlight ahead. Unfortunately, the battle cries of your pursuers are closer than ever, and when you look back over your shoulder, you see glowing eyes. The two of you turn on a boost speed, and soon the outer wall of the castle looms before you. It is about 10 feet high and crumbling. You realize with horror that there are no holes on this side that are large enough to fit through. Meanwhile, Reginald, a faster runner than yourself, has disappeared around the north corner of the wall. A short spear whistles head, past your head. You look back and see at least four of the little beasts. Do I have mana? I think we can use, should we follow Reginald? I think they're going to attack me if I follow Reginald, but if I don't follow Reginald, I got a feeling that he's going to die. But if I jump the wall... why did you leave me, Reginald? I thought you're some kind of bodyguard. I want to waste some mana. Let's follow Reginald. I knew it. You turn north to follow Reginald. You almost reach the corner when an arrow stabs into your shoulder. When you round the corner, you don't see your friend, but there is a section of partially crumbled wall that you think you can climb swiftly. Another arrow whistled by before you're able to roll over the top of the battlement down to the rotten wooden floorboards on the other side. In a few seconds, there are four goblins at the base of the wall, chattering angrily. One of them begins climbing up the rotten rock. You decide this is a good place to take a stand. There is a lot of a loose rock at the top of the wall. You're not particularly strong thanks to your inactive life as a wizard. However, you expect you could push a few large rocks down upon this climber. On the other hand, they're all out in the open, and your combat spell will certainly be effective now. What do you do? Wait, since I'm a wizard and not a hold on. Since I'm a wizard and not a fighter, not a warrior, I'll use a magic wand instead of that sword. So, so what do we do now? Let's see. Maybe we should. I don't want to risk any more lives, so let's just fight them all. I hate those things. I hate those freaking goblins. Just burn, 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 burn. All you goblins deserve that magic fireball. You lean down and call forth the magical power within you. From your outstretched fingers erupts a jet of flame that you play first over the climber and then over the others standing below. They barely have Time to scream before. Wait, where am I? Scream before they are no more than four smoldering corpses on the ground below. A fine mess you made of them. Reginald's voice startles you. He now stands beside you, grinning down on the carnage. He must have found another way in. Okay, great, Reginald, at least you're alive. Where were you? I loathe you goblins, you say. As do all men, as do all good men, you have struck terror into their advance party, but they will call for reinforcements. We have the wall. Can we hold it? Reginald asked. We could go in. You point to the castle keep beyond the courtyard. The castle is 3 stories tall, or at least it had been before the top layer partially collapsed. The second story is barely any better. The fortress is as lifeless and still as a painting. Nevertheless, you wonder if anyone is looking back at you from the dark windows and arrow slits of the ruin. What do you suggest? Should we prepare? Let's prepare a wall defense. Feel like the goblins are gonna attack. God knows what's in the castle. Let us fight only one enemy at a time, you say. Soon the forest around you is studded with glowing sets of eyes. It is difficult to count them as they appear and disappear behind the trees, but you guess 20 or more. Surely they will attack from all sides at once, says Reginald, and they can see at night like we can in the day. Consider the long dry of the courtyard below. With some lump oil, you could start a fine brush fire down there. The light of it could perhaps even the odds on these nocturnal creatures. You could even cast a spell upon the fire to create a blinding flash, but you are not sure you want to leave the wall to carry out such an unconventional plan. They may attack while you are away, leaving only Reginald to defend the walls. You wonder how long the goblins will take to master the forces. Your question is immediately answered as you hear a battle cry, high-pitched, furious, and seemingly on the edge of panic. It erupts from the forest as tide of little green evil eyes surge forward. What do you do? Let's just set the courtyard on fire. Oh, the morale increases. Without a moment to lose, you jump down into the courtyard, empty flask of oil onto the dry grass, and light it. The fire spreads rapidly. You ascend the ladder against the wall to rejoin Reginald. Gods help us. They come from all sides. You shout. God, uh, Reginald does not answer as he works his bow. Trum, trum, goes the trum, trum. What? How do you. Whatever. Goes the string. Okay. Soon, several of the goblins have scaled the firewall two have dropped down into the courtyard while another charges upon the rickety battlement walkway toward you. Others follow and then still more from the east and west wall. You can see them clearly thanks to the courtyard brush fire. You dare not wait any longer. Reginald, close your eyes! You shout and then let loose the spell. You should do a better voice for my character. Anyway. Crack, you see bright pink behind your shut eyelid. The fire has become a brilliant flash, a brief pulse brighter than the full daylight. You wait a second. It will take that long for the flare to die down. Now the little monsters are shielding their glowing eyes and screaming. One of them stumbles headlong off the battlement. Kill them all, and be quick about it. They will not be blind for long. You shout as you reach into the folds of your robe, pull out a dagger. Reginald slings his bow and unsheathes his long sword. The goblins still standing are now waving their short swords and spears blindly in front of them. Reginald effortlessly bats these weapons aside with his long sword with a single mighty cleave per creature. He cuts the goblin down one after the other. For you, using a blade to dispatch foes is demeaning and dangerous. Blind or not, those vicious little creatures will slash and bite for their lives. Nevertheless, a long knife requires no mana, so you quickly get to work. You jump down into the courtyard where you have more room to maneuver. You run behind each goblin, thrust in your dagger, and immediately spring backward. Your, before your victim has a chance to swing at you, you smile to yourself. You're, okay, you're really on a roll. Gods, I hate goblins, you think. Just as you can sit there singing a song to better mock your blinded guard, Harry, more of the little beasts come, a lot more. They scuttle over the walls like cockroaches. Okay, what song were we supposed to sing? To the castle, you shout. Once across the courtyard, you open the large wooden double doors which creak on their rusty hinges. Inside, Reginald slams and bars the doors. The entrance chamber is large with a high vaulted ceiling. Wait, okay, there. The stone walls are cracked and flaking. The ground is strewn with loose rubble. The air is stale aside from the double doors behind you. There are no closed wooden doors on the north, east, and west walls. Near the north door, there is a stairway going up, but it is blocked by rubble. It is not long before the front doors begin to rattle violently. Through a nearby arrow slit, you can see glowing eyes and glint of axes chopping away at the door. You're not sure how long the barrel portal will hold them. Reginald wants to hide deeper in the castle. On the other hand, this place smells of that. It might be prudent to take a few seconds to investigate the room and doors. What do you do now? Let's investigate. You motion to Reginald to check the east door. You inspect the ground and see there has been traffic through here. Some of the tracks of, on the dusty floor appear to be from human-sized shoes or boots, while others appear to be from bare feet far too large to be from men. None of the tracks appear to belong to goblins. Listening, you can't hear anything from the goblins stomping and screaming outside. You direct the light of your lantern at the northern door and are about to turn towards the eastern door when something catches your attention. Was that an eye? You wonder. You think you caught a glimpse of glistening eyeball through a rotting hole. We're gonna have some company now. Rotting hole in the northern door. Casually, as though just taking another look around, you sweep your lantern light over the door again, pausing just for an instant at the spot. Yes, that was an eye. You're being watched, and although your glimpse of it was fleeting, you could tell that the eye did not belong to. Oh my god! The white. It's not a human. The white of the orb is pink with blood, while the retina is pitch black and large. Is it a dragon? You will like to get a better look at the creature. There is a minor spell you normally use to magically open doors from a distance. You find it tedious opening doors yourself, As long as the door is unlocked, you could use this lazy wizard spell to open the eye door without being too close. On the other hand, that may frighten or anger whomever that eye belongs to. Perhaps you should just talk to it. Maybe you can join forces against the goblins. Alternatively, you might be able to hurl a bolt of fire through the eye hole. Not an easy shot, but you have the element of surprise. Finally, there's the running option, a choice that has been keeping wizards alive for thousands of years. What do you do? So we can open the door or shoot the eye hole. Let's be a nice let's be a nice person and just talk to the creature. And it's a suicidal. Did I die? Why is being nice a bad thing? You master your courage, face the door, and ah, raise, raise your voice to be heard over pounding and shouting of the goblins. We mean you no harm. We wish only to crack the door explodes open. The light of your lantern screams into the unusual magical monster stooping over. He holds a massive spy club in one hand and a melon-sized rock in the other. He steps into the room. It's a fucking ogre. Neville's tongue! It's an ogre! Reginald curses. The ogre hurls his stone straight at you. You duck and avoid having your head caved in. But the stone still grazes the top of your skull, and you see stars. Just then, the front door of the castle bursts open like a tidal wave crashing at the beach. A heap of goblins falls into the room, creatures one on top of the other. A chorus of glee erupts. Hey. Reginald and you nearly collide in your haste towards the eastern portal. Once through, you slam the door closed. From the entrance chamber, you just left come goblin yips of triumph, which then turn into screams of terror that are immediately drowned out by an earth-shaking snarl. Next is the sharp slapping of flesh against flesh, the wet sound of bodies ripping apart. So, okay, just don't trust anything now. You run from one room to the next. The ogre is not much of a housekeeper. The castle is full of giant cobwebs and broken furniture. Finally, you enter a large room, a dining room, as evidenced by a long wooden table and two fireplaces. You motion to Reginald to stop, and you both listen faintly. You can hear the far-off sound of battle from behind you. Can't leave the way you think. Just then, you hear something else. Let's just investigate. For glory and the loot, you think to yourself as you take the lead. Okay, I saw a woman. Hope she's a healer because I need some life now. You quickly realize that the sound seemed to be coming from this very room. You creep over to the other end of the dining hall and see a young woman sitting on the ground, chained to a fireplace, rocking back and forth and sobbing. Please hope she's not a crazy lady. Please hope she's not a crazy lady. Her cries break up and she looks up at you with an expression of fear that quickly turns into surprise. Let's do a woman. Who are you? She asks. You tell her your names and that you are here to smite evil while making your fortunes. So we're like heroes for hire. This brings a smile to her face, a pretty smile you suspect, although it's hard to tell under all the dirt smudged on her face. She gives her name as Saiba. Let's just or Kiba. How do you read that? Saiba. Let's just say Saiba. And says there is a key to her chains on the table. Sure enough, beside Crack and Dusty China is a small brass key. As you set about unlocking her, she tells you that she's a merchant's daughter who was traveling with her father strayed caravan when it was attacked by a mighty ogre with a small band of priests of an evil god wearing dark cloaks. Those of her party not killed in the initial attack were taken prisoners and chained up in this room. One by one, they were taken away by the priest, never to return. They took my they took my father. Saiba sniffs. No doubt he is slain, but I must try to find him. Will you help me? You ask her if she has any idea where her father or the others might be, but she knows little of the rest of the castle. Reginald takes you aside and says, I'll, I'll we take her to safety then, and then look for her father on our own? She will be in danger traveling with us. You agree that having some half-starved unarmed merchant daughter creeping along behind you will only get her killed. But where is safety? Last time we checked, the courtyard was crawling with goblins, and according to her, the castle residents are not very good hosts. What do you do? We can't escort her out. Hide her and move. Send her on. Huh? Wait. Let's just hide her and move on. Or should we have. Or should we just. Oh, never mind. I already made my decision. There are a ton of hiding places in the ruin. You find a nice pile of rubble for her to hide behind a few rooms away. You tell her to keep quiet and that you'll get back to her. Stay still. Stay still and quiet here. We will return. Well, if we do not return by morning, escape as best as you can. You instruct her. Clever, Reginald says as you leave her. If the wizards find Saiba missing, they will not expect her to remain in the castle. With luck, they will leave the castle altogether to find her. So did I make a good decision? I hope. And we can explore unhindered, you say with a smile. The castle is quiet and dark. You walk into a wide hallway that branches in two directions. One direction is covered in a thick layer of dust, while the other is covered in footprints. You decide that it would be wise to get a lay of the land before looking for any trouble. Despite the faint smell of rotting flesh from the dusty hall, you decide that it will be wise to go this way first. Less monster, more treasure, or at least you hope. You have kept your lantern hooded, only allowing slivers of light out. After that, you want to remain stealthy. The way is dim. You want to remain stealthy. The way is dim, however, and you find yourself tripping over rubble and the odd piece of furniture. There might be something far worse ahead for you, hidden in the shadows. Too bad you can't see in the dark like Goblin. Wait, keep the lantern. Hmm. And who the lantern? We need the light. We're not freaking goblins. Not don't even have night vision on. Okay. At least my moral increases by 1. Since you appear to be entering a vacant part of the castle, you expect your light will not attract enemy attention, and so you unhood your lantern to see your way clearly. As you move along, the cobwebs thicken and thicken. Spider! Reginald yelped. He points his sword up at the ceiling. There is an enormous hairy spider suspended by a mass of yarn-thick webs. The webs are dotted with small silky cocoons. Spider, you suspect, might encase rats or other small prey. Okay, With trembling fingers, Reginald sheathes his sword and unslings his bow. He takes in a big breath as he fits an arrow, draws back the string, and fires. The spider flays its long legs for a moment and then drop out of the web onto the floor with a thud. The two of you move on, taking extra care of to watch the ceiling. Okay, I think like uh, the lantern was a good idea. So let's continue. Because if we were walking in the dark, the spiders would probably attack us and kill us. Eventually, the two of you make your way to a spiral staircase going up. The upper region of foul places like this are safer than the lower levels, says Reginald. Why in Neville's tongue? What's Neville? Who's Neville's? Neville's tongue would you be? You say. Reginald shrugs. Do not ask me what is in the mind of fiends and evil-hearted beasts. Perhaps they prefer the darkness and stagnant air below ground. You look up the stairway and sigh. Well, perhaps we can get a view of the courtyard and the goblins from up there. Reginald leads the way up the stairs, which lead into a small tower. Moonlight filters in through two windows. This room is finely furnished and otherwise much more nicely kept than the rest of the castle you visited so far. There is a small bed, still made, on one end, and an ornate table and a bookshelf. On the other is an open fairy tale book and a gold embossed hand mirror. About Seeing loot, you forget about the windows and the potential view of the courtyard. You pick up the mirror to inspect it. Strange, says Reginald. There's no dust up here. And do you feel a draft? We are in a ruin, you say. Of course there's a draft. The, the glass in the window is still intact, muttered Reginald. Gazing at your reflection in the mirror, you decide to look at pretty good, all things considered. You brush cobweb from your wavy brown hair. You smile. You're happy to see that your teeth are looking particularly good. Of course, you deserve nice teeth, since unlike most people, you take care of them. Every morning, you wipe your teeth with a cloth dipped into a cleaning concoction consisting of vinegar, salt, a little sand, and a small measure of your own urine. So what the frick? That's how they clean their teeth in old times? Is that for real? Or is that for real? Glad we use toothpaste. You're about to pull yourself away from the mirror and put it in your backpack when you glimpse a translucent skull with thin wispy hair just behind you in the reflection. You spin around and see not a skull but a young girl floating a few feet in the air, her pale face fixed on you. Reginald sees her too, as evidenced by him running downstairs. The freaking ghost kid now. Let's do a ghost. How dare you touch what is mine? That's not very. Whatever. I'll stick to that. The ghostly girl shouts. You back up and reflexively put the mirror back on the table. You have heard tales of powerful ghosts. No, I hate ghosts that can suck the life right out of you, and wonder if this girl is one of those. Do I have mana? 6. I hate ghosts, so let's use protection spell. I hate this. You mutter an arcane face and cross yourself. A faint shall materialize around you. You are one of them! You are one of them! The apparition wails. The small. Maybe we should do a better voice for the ghost. The small bed shoots across the room towards you. Your protection spell might repel ghosts, but it does not stop physical objects hurled by them. You jump just in time to avoid getting your legs smashed against the wall. Oh, thank God. You land on top of the bed without a moment to lose. You leap off and bound down the stairway. There is a wailing and crashing above, but fortunately the ghost does not follow beyond her room. I should have just ran. You immediately find Reginald, for he had not strayed far. He begins asking you questions, but you put your hand. Another time, he says. Checkpoint reach. Good job. Okay, we reached a checkpoint, so I guess we can end the video here. And please don't forget to hit like and please subscribe and let me know if you want me to make more videos like this, and of course I'm gonna continue this storyline. And thank you for watching. I'll continue this some other time. For now, goodbye.